Hey there. Oh, yes, you're back. If you haven't met me before, my name is Lexi Tommy, and this is my Thrival Guide. Every Thursday, I sit down and I talk about how to get your life together. It's like a little channel on adulting. You can handle it. We cover topics and themes that add structure and ease to anyone's day. We will get it together, people. We will get it together. And as always, I hope you are good and strong today and getting stronger with each day. I hope this video is something you can use and something you can need. I hope it is something you can share with your closest friends and even strangers that are just like sitting beside you, starting up a conversation with, they're struggling too. And if you are new here, please know our new motto. Our new motto is nobody has it all together. Nobody has their life together. They have a system. Think about it. Consider it, man. It may be the key that you are missing. I sure know it was mine. So today is April 1st. Wow, it's like almost spring. Like spring is here. I'm a little concerned because this week we got a ton of snow rolling in. A huge storm happened. So it doesn't feel like spring anymore, but we know that that's normal for Canada. So we'll just take it. And barbecue season may be like in 3 days. Who knows here, right? But in the meantime, happy April Fool's Day. If you haven't gotten someone good, you still have time. Get on it. So today we're talking about minimalism. And in the last couple months that this channel's been running, we've talked about a lot. We have covered a lot. This whole channel focuses on streamlining your life, identifying what you do not need in your life anymore, like clearing it out. Get it out of here. In the comments below, I would love it if you wrote a little comment just kind of noting what you're focusing on getting rid of these days. For us, I'm parting with tiny little baby stuff, like the supplies. Although it breaks my heart, it needs to be done. I just feel like it's time to cleanse that chapter of our life and our family and move on in a healthy mind frame to celebrating the little, beautiful, wonderful, smart, fun, growing people that we have in our family already. Which brings us to today's topic, the topic of minimalism. And the topic of minimalism is huge. And it's a topic that our whole generation just really needs to learn and absorb and take on as their own. And I'll tell you why we need it. We need minimalism as a generation so that we can stop the madness. We can stop punishing ourselves with debt and financial stress. What do they say? Like keeping up with the Joneses? Who cares about the Joneses? Like, what are you doing? How healthy is your family and your financial situation, your stress load? Like, can we work on that? That is the goal, especially right now. It seems like with everything that has happened with COVID, it's brought new meaning to our day and what we need and what we don't need. And what people missed, it wasn't the things. It wasn't the latest purse or the latest jacket. It was going out for a walk with a friend and having that stress relief, or getting a babysitter and going on a date with your spouse. Like, those were the things that I know that I missed. So the things that we missed were people and events and connection and special kinds of connection and holidays. Those were the things that we missed. Maximalism, I guess. What's the opposite of minimalism? Excess? Getting excess? I don't know. What our materialistic society has been teaching us is that the stuff is necessary, but what the stuff is doing is it's increasing our financial stress, it's increasing our workload, it's increasing the amount of home inventory that we have to maintain and take care of. If we just as a whole embraced minimalism, what a different world we would have, right? So I think that it brings up the question of sometimes core values, right? And that can change over time. So if you're ready for a change, that's cool. Let's keep going. That's going to be this month's theme. But even if you're not, like, engage anyway. This may be the time when you have a mindset switch that creates a healthier you. So if we're able to accomplish that, that's big stuff. So like I said, the topic of minimalism, it's big. It's a big, big topic. I want you to try and just consider that it might be a stop the madness moment. This may be your stop the madness moment. And if it is, welcome to the club. I am there too. Instead of focusing on the materialistic stuff, I want you to think for a second of that switch in mindset where you buy only what you truly love and you spend time with only the things that you truly want, and you keep only the stuff that you truly want or truly need. I mean, everybody needs a spatula. I may not love the spatula, but I still need it. And then get rid of the clutter. Add space and simplicity into your life instead. And then see how your day-to-day activities change. Like, it can be a massive change. See yourself in the process. If you haven't met yourself in a while, like, there's a video on that. Reintroduce yourself to you and get to know what it is that you want and what it is that you want to focus on and what your priorities are again. And by clearing out all of the unnecessary, all of the unused, the multiples, the excess, you will see your life and your space and your home in a whole new clear perspective, a whole new clarity. You will see the things that you love more. You will see the people that you love more, and you will say yes more, I promise you. I want a clean house and a clean life. Sure, that's me, totally, 100%. Sign me up. I want a clean car. I want some clarity for work. I want to declutter my brain because I am tired. We all are. We've got like 1,000 things going, right? I want to cherish the moments with my kids because they are growing so fast. I want time with my partner. I want downtime. I want time to work out. I want time to cook healthy meals. I want that time to decide what it is that I want, like what it is that my priorities are, and be able to have time enough to focus on them. And this is something that I feel we are all struggling with. It is a whole generation of people struggling with. There's just too much on our plates, right? And this is the thing I didn't mention before. I think we forget about ourselves, and I want to have dreams and I want to chase those dreams. But the second that life hits, the weight of it all, it just takes over. The answer for me in particular was really simple. And I don't know if it's the answer for everyone. I can't make that decision for you. But I suspect it is. For me, the answer was get rid of the excess. Get rid of the clutter. Minimize your buying and your purchasing to what is necessary while planning for your future needs more efficiently. Saving money to reduce that stress and increase your comfort. And let me just clarify something real quick. Living simply doesn't mean you don't have nice things. And there you go. That's like essentially the premise around minimalism. It's not a scary thing. It's a simple thing. It's a simple concept. And let's be real, this could be a game changer for you as well. This month, we are going to invest in this theme we are going to consider minimalism. Now, I'm going to keep in mind that many people do not understand minimalism. It is a new concept to them, or it is a concept to them that maybe stirs up some worries, perhaps, or some negative responses because they have misconceptions about it. So let me first start off by explaining what minimalism is. Minimalism is different for everyone. So of course, for some, there are the minimalists where it's like one bowl, one spoon, one fork, one knife for every member of the household. There are those types of minimalism. And then there are people that understand that minimalism is really a feeling. It's a journey. It's a concept. And it's a concept that everybody can apply to their lives differently. For me, minimalism is a feeling of decluttered space, decluttered mind, focus, clarity, openness. And really, it's much like a destimulation while you're decluttering, right? It is simplicity. It's a grab and go system everywhere that you look. There is one bottle of shampoo and conditioner in the shower, and it is used up to every last drop, and then another one is purchased. And once I got to that place, it was a relief that there wasn't 30 bottles of shampoo and conditioner that I had spent a fortune on, hoping that it will make my hair like soft and shiny and luxurious, right? That I didn't get to use, or that are expiring, or that are separating. It was a relief that I hadn't spent that money on things that I just didn't need. So for me, it's really just that simple. And the other thing that minimalism is for me is it's a release from having to store it, sort it, organize it, maintain it, wash it down, wipe it down, move it, put it away. All of those things were happening for every object in our home, right? So when I minimized what I had in my home, that immediately freed up so much time. Some people think that minimalism is being perfect. I have a totally different perspective of that. I think minimalism is the acknowledgement that we are not perfect and that we cannot do it all. I think it is the acknowledgement that one shampoo is enough for now, and when it is done, we will get another shampoo. Like, it is the acknowledgement that there is a tomorrow. It's the acknowledgement that we don't have to put all of our faith in our storage collection today. And let me tell you, I do fight the drive to collect things, especially grocery items. That's one thing, like getting things on sale and that type of thing. I do a little bit of that, but I have restrictions in the way that I do it. So I will collect, tomato soup. Sure, no problem. I will have 10 cans of tomato soup. That's fine. But I know that we go through tomato soup quite fast. And so when it's on sale, it makes sense to me. So I'm not saying have no stockpile. What I'm saying is my stockpile is limited in areas where it needs to be limited, and it is plentiful in areas that we use a ton of it. So simple as that. So back to that concept of it not being perfect. So life before minimalistic practices for me was anxiety causing. And I had to develop this practice in my own life and nurture this practice in my own life as a way to just grow as a person and calm down and be able to focus in and add clarity to my life and ease to my life. And that's really the whole premise of what I'm trying to share with you with this whole channel. I want you to have the ability to have the time to grow and have feel like you're thriving in life, not just surviving. And so many people go through their day-to-day just trying to keep up. And then they turn around and something needs to be dusted, or they try to keep up. And then their toddler spilled food all over the floor. So for me, I had to engage differently. And this is my way of engaging differently and cheating time. So I'm sharing that with you. It's something to consider. It really is. So before minimalism or minimalistic practices, I would take a look at a closet and think I should really organize that or clean it or whatever. And I would get a couple of items in, get overwhelmed, and go avoid it any way possible, right? So maybe that was I'm going for a walk, or I need to make supper or whatever. I would just avoid it. And I think that that's something that can be a deep hole that people get themselves into. But when reality, I had too much stuff in that closet. So now that same closet might take me 15 minutes to organize and clean. And that's progress. That is progress. That's not perfection. That is goal attaining, little baby step progress, right? That got me to that point. So once I made the decision to just get rid of the bulk and the excess, it made everything so much easier. Now you will come to our house and you'll see we still have plenty of stuff. We do. I like to think of myself as like a minimalist with kids, or a comfortable minimalist, or an essentialist. I keep what I love, I keep what I need, I keep what my family needs and what my kids love. I organize it to make sense, I monitor it, but the key is that I clearly identify when we have lost love for it, when it's lost its purpose or its function, when it's broken or in disrepair, when we don't use it in the course of 6 months, and that we didn't need it anymore. Things are so easy to acquire. And having every tool around us at all times just didn't make sense anymore. But also buying it all the time didn't make sense either. I would much rather regularly purge my own stuff and give it to somebody who can then repurpose it or make use of it again. It just feels like I got my money's worth. I have been that person, trust me, where I open my trunk to coworkers, I put all the stuff in for the Salvation Army and say, do you know anyone who needs this stuff? Like, it brings such satisfaction to know that this is going to a good home and that somebody might need it, and I don't anymore. So I clearly identified that. I don't have any guilt or shame about giving it away. It's become really easy for me now. And on another point, I stopped shopping. So don't get scared. I'm not saying you have to stop shopping, but retail therapy is something that's really in our culture and has gotten into our blood. And it's something that is creating stress and anxiety and pressure in our lives and unhealthy balances. Because the more stuff that we acquire is the more stuff that we own. And then if we own it, we have to take care of it and we have to manage it. So it becomes this cycle, this perpetual cycle that is unhealthy for us and our families. Now, I'm really lucky. I came from a really lucky spot. So I was never that kid that had to have that name brand, whatever, or the best of everything. I never, even as an adult, needed the newest, bestest, greatest, amazingest thing. I did not name shop, but I did brand associate with quality sometimes, and I'll explain the difference. So with the things that I had to have, I didn't have to have 6, Lululemon shirts for working out. One is okay because, you work out, you sweat, you wash it. It's something that you could do with 2 of or 3 of, not 6 of, and not a whole collection of, and you don't need it to batch. Like, let's move on from that part. I did not need the newest or the best. I just needed something that worked and I liked it. And if I liked it, it was good enough, perfect. And I learned with my kids especially that I would much rather have one name brand shirt that washes super, super well and doesn't pill and fits them right and just has a good life. Like if the shirt can have a good life, even if it can have some resale value, at the end kind of thing, if you do those like clothing swaps or whatever, or you kind of buy and sell, if it had a good life and can go on to another life, it was worth more to have one good quality shirt than 6, like Walmart shirts or whatever, and that's fine too. But I just found that they didn't work for my family. So I guess that's the whole thing of minimalism. It's not just about the stuff. It's also about finding what works for your family and making it work more efficiently. As soon as parenthood came, I realized that this journey I was on had its start, its real start. Before kids, you were kind of just, you needed a spatula, you acquired a spatula. If somebody gave you another spatula, you just had 2 spatulas. Like it wasn't a big deal. But as soon as parenthood came, I found that a lot of that changed for us. I began to really, truly experience anxiety around the stuff. And like, what a thing, right? All these amazing people, they were like excited for our first little baby and they were bringing over these gifts. They were so sweet. But I must have had 50 outfits from newborn to 3 months, and it was completely overwhelming for me. It threw me into a tailspin that I really didn't expect. I remember standing with my newborn in a sling, just this tiny little human in a sling in Walmart, looking at the totes. Like, I kid you not, like a half an hour of looking at the totes, trying to figure out what was going to hold all of this stuff and how I was going to organize it by size. And it was just trying to measure it or like guesstimate if these totes that then I organized all this stuff in were then going to fit in my daughter's teeny tiny little closet. So it was extremely overwhelming, and it was such a weird thing to be overwhelmed by. I remember feeling sick, like just absolutely sick of these 2 separate sides of me. The one that was experiencing this extreme anxiety, and then the one that felt super guilty for not being like totally enthralled with all of this stuff, because I was grateful. I was totally, completely grateful to even have this experience in my life. And the years that I had spent in social work, where I had been with families who never in a million years had this kind of support that I was getting, and people celebrating their first baby. Some people were upset with the first baby, right? Like, it was such a blessed existence and such a, what do they call it? Like, first world problem. It was that. And it made me feel as though I was being ungrateful. And so there was these 2 parts of me that were just completely coming to odds. And the funny thing is, oddly, I did not have the same stress or anxiety about labor or bringing this tiny little human home and being ultimately responsible for them. It was just the stuff. So minimalism did not happen in one day for me. And I really wish it would have. But 11 years ago, minimalism did start a brewing, because I had this like physical negative reaction to all of this stuff. And let me tell you, I did not forget it. But the problem lies that the second that you own it, you legit own it. And like I was saying before, you have to sort it and store it and organize it and wash it down and maintain it and wipe it and move it to the side and put it away. Like, there's all of these things that you have to do for each single item. So 11 years ago, there wasn't a discussion around minimalism, at least not one that I had been a part of, but oh lordy, I wish there would have been. So as we moved our little family of 3 to our new home, I had all of a sudden come to this realization that, oh my goodness, I had 8 cases of packed up wine glasses from our wedding, plus 4 additional cases that were like opened and washed and like in the cupboard ready to use. And people, here's the kicker, I didn't drink wine. I felt so guilty over the stuff just sitting there. It wasn't being used. I thought to myself, oh, I cannot just store this. I have got to make better use of this. Maybe when we get settled into the home and do the basement, maybe I'll make a bar downstairs. That was my thought. But then a few years passed and I had been to many homes with basement bars, and I realized, people are using those for storage. They're not even using them. I have a coworker right now that actually converted hers into a makeshift COVID cubicle. That's her office cubicle, is the bar that came with her house. So I laugh because what a cubicle. Who would have guessed that? So it was, I guess, a no-brainer that I cut the whole bar idea. But with the responsibility of the stuff, I kept getting reminded of those wine glasses and how I wasn't using them, and they were just sitting there, taking up room. And I thought, I must come up with a way to use them. Now, like I said, this is all a journey, and this has been a journey 13 years in the making. This is not something that I just started yesterday. This year, I have finally come to the conclusion that I do not need a lifetime supply of wine glasses. 8 wine glasses is probably all I will ever need for any event that we will do as of late. So the rest needed to find a good home. So on that note, I just want to take a second and clear this all up. If you by chance are somebody who gifted us wine glasses for our wedding, thank you. We love them. Yours were the ones that we kept. But you do not have to make use of the items purchased by somebody else. I no longer had to be responsible for them. And let's be real, the person who bought that stuff for us was trying to buy us something that they thought we could really use. And if they knew that that item was then causing us immense anxiety and stress, they would have chosen something else. It is still a present. Its purpose was to be a present. So what do? We're just gonna have to grow, people. Let's branch out in our adulting for a second. Let's promise ourselves a new concept. Let's promise ourselves that we will not emotionally attach to every single item that comes into our home just because Aunt Leona picked it out for us. Because Aunt Leona has given us a zillion things, it's fine. And let's be honest, she may have been trying to minimize her home too. Let's only look at this from a physical perspective. So that box does not hold our relationship in it. That box of wine glasses does not hold our relationship. Our relationship is held by time and legit investment of emotion and memories and smells even. It is not held by that one box of wine glasses. And our relationship of actual memories, it grows and it changes and it builds far beyond that. Engage with people, not things. And enjoy the things around you that you do keep close. You don't have to do it all, and you don't have to have it all. So take steps towards identifying what you will actually need and what you actually love and will use. If you're unsure if it's going to meet the qualifications, if you're going through stuff and you're I don't know if I'm going to use this or need this or whatever, pack it up, box it up for 6 months. Put it all in the box for 6 months. Don't get rid of it. Just box it up, put it in the storage room for 6 months and see how your feelings change. And we're going to talk about different ideas of how to practice minimalism as the month goes on. But for this week, I want you to pick one closet or one drawer or one cupboard, one space to completely go through. And I will do a little something here too, and we'll talk about that. Pack up everything you own in that category for 6 months and only use what you didn't pack. And see how it changes your perspective on it. When you unpack the box and you realize, geez, we haven't used any of this stuff, it makes the decision easier whether or not you want it anymore. and it makes it easier to get rid of and downsize. So give it a try. You're not getting rid of it. You're just taking a little dance with minimalism. Give it a shot. I am so happy that you are considering it. And all it will take is one minimized closet, one minimized cupboard, one minimized drawer. You're gonna open that puppy up and you're gonna come back to it time after time after time because you're gonna feel good in that space. I remember my girlfriend Erin, hi Erin, she would go through a closet and minimize it and sort it and organize it and make it look so pretty. And then she would take a picture of it and send it to me. And we were both just like, yes, because I know that feeling too well. And I know that you will keep going back to that in particular space to feel that sense of relief and pride, and consistent feelings of space are just so great to have. And it's going to be motivation and energizing to keep going on each new space. And I'm so excited that you're going to be starting this process along with me, because this month is the month that we're going to take on to do it. I support you. I love the changes that you are considering making, and I love the headspace that you're starting to get into and engage with. And if no one has told you today, good for you. I am so proud of you. They say it takes a village, and now you have one. And if this video helped you, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, that all helps too. And it really keeps me coming back week after week with content that you're ready for. And that's it for today. I want to say thank you for popping by and investing in you and your life and your space. Welcome, Thrivers, to my Thrival Guide. We'll see you soon.